Hello there and welcome to this impromptu Elite FPL deadline stream with myself, Steve-O. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm just bored out of my mind. I'm just listening into the FPL Juice show. I was just sat here just trying to see if I can buy Burnley tickets to go to Brentford. Unfortunately, I can't because they're sold out from the Burnley end, so it looks like I'm going to have to go sit in the Brentford area, which, to be honest, I want to go to that game. At the end of the day, the ground is only round the corner from me, and I just kind of want to at least make the most of the fact that Burnley are back in the Premier League. I'm in London, the team's round the corner, I can get free parking, and yeah, so I've just been on the Burnley website and I've just sent a picture to my uncle, but it's sold out from the Burnley point of view, as expected. I do find it funny when people, and they're being serious, they say to me, Burnley aren't going to sell out their away end. No, they will. They sell out every single away end. Usually they've got a very, very, very good away fan network, if that means absolutely anything at all. And I think that me hoping that I'd get away tickets was not impossible. I knew that anyway, but the fact that they went on general sale yesterday and they've already sold out says it all really. So yeah, I'm going to have to go it via the Brentford route, and even then that's a convoluted process which I pretty much cannot stand going through. Even signing up to the Burnley website was a pain in the arse. It kind of drives you up the wall really. But yeah, it is double game week 7. There's a few things that are really, really frustrating from my point of view what to do. And I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to tune into whoever at like 10 to 11, or unless anybody in the chat can let me know if they hear any news regarding Saka, because if he is benched, he has travelled, but if he's benched, I'm going to play Cash instead of Saka. I am tempted to play Cash instead of Saka full stop. Saka's away performances aren't usually that great. I've always said this with Saka, usually on average at home he will get you an attack in return. Away from home it's very sporadic, and it's not an absolute guarantee that he's going to bring in any points, whereas at home you can probably rely on him to get not just a single attack in return, but actually a very decent chance of getting a double-digit return. There's Matty Cash in a game against Brighton, which I've discussed to death, but that game could be anything. It could be 0-0. Genuinely, it could be 0-0. You've got two very accomplished managers in their fields. Brighton, in my opinion, are the better team. I just think as an all-round squad, I think they're better. They're better in terms of getting results. Aston Villa are a team that are clearly very well disciplined and drilled. And like I say, even though I just think that Brighton are going to come out on top, truth be told, like I've just said, it could quite literally go anywhere. It's one of those matches which I find it very difficult to call. It's one of those where I find if I look at the fixture on screen, I think to myself, I can't call it. Whereas there are games like, I don't know, Luton Everton, where it's like, well, it's pretty much 0-0, 1-1, or 1-0 either way. It's going to be absolutely dire. It's the same with, this is the thing with my it's the same with the Tottenham game against Liverpool. I've been on Salah all week, and I'm going against my own advice. This isn't the week to go against Haaland, but honestly, Liverpool away at Tottenham, which we're covering tonight at 5:30, me and Jason, and make sure you join me at 3 o'clock. Want as many people as there as possible. Yeah, Tottenham Liverpool, I can just see it, just goals. Neither manager gives a shit about defending, and I just have this feeling that Salah's going to do really well, along with Son. I've recommended people to, if you really want to go for someone different than Haaland, I truly think Son, if you've got him, do it. There are obviously people that are bringing in Son as a -4, or they're just bringing him in full stop for free. Do you know what? I think fuck it, just captain him. Genuinely, it's a brilliant fixture. I'm only going 3-2 to Tottenham because it's at home, but truthfully, I can see Liverpool winning it 3-2. I can see him winning it 3-1. I can see him winning it 2-1. I think, in fact, I think there's more of a percentage of Liverpool winning the game tonight than there is Tottenham, if I'm honest with you. Liverpool seem to have the hoodoo over Tottenham at the moment, and they seem to enjoy playing Tottenham. They haven't lost in the last 6, and yeah, I'm expecting this to be a really, really enjoyable game to watch. And like I said, you can join myself and Jason live tonight. I always find it interesting as well, looking at the on whoscored.com, the comments that people write regarding the matches, and usually they're quite insightful in the sense of they're looking at it from a betting point of view rather than a biased point of view, in the sense of I support Liverpool, so I think this. I support Tottenham, so I think that. Sometimes it's more of a balanced viewpoint, so to speak. I mean, whoscored.com themselves are thinking 2-2. Well, I've got some bad news for you. They're thinking it's 2-2. Put it this way, it's going to be a really boring game, because unfortunately, whoscored.com, when it comes to their personal predictions, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Some of the comments here saying that it's going to be Sarr, Maddison and Basuma versus Szoboszlai, Jones and McAllister. In fact, there's not actually that many comments, which you can't make it up, can you? Every time I go on it, there's about 50,000 comments. Today, there's nothing. Marbella saying that Liverpool have scored 21 goals in the last seven Premier League fixtures. Yeah, exactly. Someone here saying 3-1 to Liverpool. Someone here saying 4-1 to Liverpool. And this is what I said on the preview yesterday, and I also said it on my little Sky fantasy football one that I do, that Liverpool average this year are scoring 3 goals a game, but they're conceding. Tottenham are averaging 2 goals a game. So it kind of says to me that this has got 3-2 written all over it. But certainly it's a game in which, right now, I'm happy to give Salah the armband. The only thing that goes against that is I'm always one of those people that's like, well, he got his double-digit return last week. He ain't going to get it this week. You know, this player did really well in the Carabao Cup, which means that they're going to do nothing this week. As a simple example, Haaland missed loads of chances last week, whereas this week, you know, look at this from Salah. Last 2 fixtures, 10 points. Haaland, on the other hand, well, we know what he's got. It's 2 or 6. As I look here, well, apart from the Fulham at home, where he got 20 points, but it's a home game. And then the Burnley game, you know, he got 2 goals, as we know, in that fixture. But Sheffield United away, he got 4 points. Why did he only get 4 points? Goal scored 1, and he only got 4 points. Did he get a yellow card in that or something? I can't even remember. Why did he missed a penalty. Right. Okay. And then West Ham, he got 6. Nottingham Forest, 6. My prediction on that game is 2 or 3-0. I think I put on the Super Brew 2-0 for Man City. They're just away from home. They just seem to play it really, really safe, and just be quite what's the word I'm looking for here? Not conservative. They just seem to restrict teams, don't they, and just soak up all the pressure. And just allow, you know, the teams to make a mistake that they're playing at home, and then Man City, with the quality they've got, can just hurt them really, really badly. But Man City's history against Wolves is really good. If I quickly run through their history at the moment versus Wolves, it's quite sickening. Not nerves, nothing sexual. 3-1, 4-1, 1-0, 5-1, 3-0, 3-0. They like playing Wolves, and there's been a couple of red cards in these fixtures as well, both for Wolves. So I think it's horrible. This decision making is horrible for me. I'm probably going to bottle it and go with Haaland. To be completely honest with you, I think that as we look at the fixtures, the last 6 between these two, Tottenham and Liverpool, 2-1. This is all in Liverpool's favour for the wins. 2-1, 3-1, 2-2, 1-1, 2-1, 4-3. If I just quickly look at Salah's history, just briefly, the last 2 fixtures. So in the 4-3, he got a penalty, whereas Son got a goal and an assist. And then in the 2-1 victory, where Liverpool were away from home, we had Salah getting 2 goals. Of course he did. Salah getting 2 goals. Son didn't even play that game. So Son didn't even play. And then in the 1-1 draw, so already Salah's got 3 goals in 2. In the 1-1 game, come on Salah. We want it to be Salah to have scored. And the answer is, it was Diaz. But Son got the goal. So these two here, Son and Salah, seem to do enjoy playing each other, even in the 2-2. Let's just quickly see here where Liverpool had a red card in that particular fixture. Did Salah get a goal, and did Son get a goal in the game? And the answer is, have a random guess. The answer is yes, Son he scored again. So basically what I'm saying is that Son is going to do probably well against Liverpool based on the history. It's a tough one for me. Like I said, I'm probably going to bottle it. I mean, when is the deadline? 11? Is it 11 or 11? It's 11, isn't it? I'm probably going to bottle it, but as I keep stating, if anybody's got any news regarding Saka specifically, that would be great. I will also, depending on what the conversation is, I'm probably going to look at some members' comments as well, just quickly address them rather than doing a separate video. It'd just be easy me doing it on the live stream itself. But let's just quickly say hello to a few people that are here. Let's just go well. I mean, the fact that Ray Joyce is here, Jesus fucking Christ, wow. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Get your teams and the team screenshots. I wouldn't mind just seeing, like Bilal, for example. Bilal, if you're doing a wild card, get your team and the team screenshots. You don't need to come live on air, don't worry about that, but just come on the team screenshots and just so I can just look at your team, see what you're doing with your wild card. I'd be quite interested to see. If you are actually doing a wild card, genuinely done a wild card, put it in the team screenshots on Discord. I think it'd be good. Hello everything, FPL, Lucas Dunn, good afternoon. If you are new around here, make sure that you do hit the subscribe button. It'd be nice, if people actually did do that. Good afternoon, Boona. Barney Cotton, are you the Napalm Death Singer? Would you buy Kabori for Henry for a -4? Would give me funds to upgrade Saka to... Yep, do it, get on with it. No, in fact, no. Bring in Charlie Taylor. I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with Charlie Taylor. Apparently this is hilarious. I'm sticking with Sterling. That's supposed to be hilarious according to Shekel Goblin. It's so funny that. Ray Joyce is doing Saka and Rashford to Salah and Diaby for a -4. How could that go wrong? I think that is an absolutely fantastic move. Dally Pool, he's doing shit at FPL this year, so I'm definitely not captaining Salah. Brilliant, thanks very much. You're about as bad as Mr. Reed, even though at the moment Mr. Reed is actually ahead of me. But right now you're doing as bad. In fact, you're doing a lot worse than Mr. Reed, so I'm not even going to... So thanks for that. I'm legitimately changing that. Because Dally Pool is captaining Salah, so I've now swapped it round to Haaland. Done. Thanks for that, Dally Pool. This is what I do it for. Get that basic inside information. Because when I occasionally scroll through the teams, I normally look at like the players that are doing bad in the Elite FPL, well, the Members League, to be honest with you. And I'm like, brilliant, they've gone and brought in X player that I've brought in. I'm in for a shit game week. Or they've captained this player. Brilliant, I cannot be fucked with this anymore. Afternoon, Harry Dawson, Danish, hello. I just sold Saka. Yeah, I don't really blame you. How will Burnley get on in the double? Kieran is saying, I have a feeling we'll score today. I have a feeling we'll score in a 2-1, 3-1. But that's another game where Newcastle are definitely going to win. It's just a simple case of how many Newcastle do, and can we get through Newcastle's extraordinary defence? And the simple answer is I think we've got enough about us to create, but we've got no one to create for. I know Alex Volo's brought in here's my steroids. I know Alex Volo's brought in Doomy. It's a very good punt for the Luton game. Too many people are concentrating on Luton. I think you should be concentrating on Burnley because they're going to do quite well in the Luton game. Whereas Luton in the Everton-Burnley game, I just think they're fucking shit. Even though, like I said, the guy on the Clash of the Correspondents did make some very, very, very good valid points about the fact that Luton, despite the fact there's been a couple of games where they've let in a lot of goals, actually of late they've not been letting in that many, and that's why I just think that attacking this double game week is a waste of time. But if you have got a Burnley player or a Luton player, crack on. I mean, Kieran's saying, imagine the scenes if Morris scores a hat-trick. It's not going to happen. That's going to be... in fact, what I do remember, though, is that Morris was better away from home last year than he was at home. So maybe he scores today and does nothing against thingy. But Everton-Luton, it's honestly... If you're expecting that to be 3 goals to Luton in a 4-3 to Everton... Yeah, you need your head testing. Lucas Dunn saying, I sold Saka due to the away form and injury list. Just gets rid of any stress. I know Madison will start and you'll want him more after this game. Yeah, I'm also of the mind in the Sky Fantasy game as well. My animations, you're cheating. I'm not looking at your team. I only want to look at wildcard teams. I'm not interested. I'm only interested if you're wildcarding. I have no interest if you're not. I know for fact you're not wildcarding animations. Matthew Zaishi, you're not wildcarding. Same as you, Ray Joyce, unless that's a wildcard, but it's not. I'm only looking at wildcard teams. And Bilal is doing quite well this year. I think he's like 10, 15 points clear of me, because that's how tight the leagues are at the moment. I think top spot in the members league is only 50 points clear of me, and I'm doing shit. But I think that certainly with Bilal, I'm sure he's like 15 points ahead or something. But this is Bilal's team here. Once I can bring it up, which I will do in 2 seconds. The problem is that I need to go in such a convoluted way to access it. Here we go. Right then, let's go to Bilal's team. I remember when someone said in a comment to Jason, I think it's disrespectful that Steve-O won't look at our teams, and it's like, well, I did explain on the stream that I only want to look at wildcard teams. I'm not going to watch this anymore. Don't bother then. Could you imagine if FPL Juice was tuning in now, seeing that? Just fuck off. He's going with Areola. Well, he's got Areola. Don't go Turner. Fuck me. Stop. Bilal, change Turner, please. Unless you're doing it for funds, but get him gone. So Areola in goal, Kabore, Botman, Trippier, yep. Unfortunately, like we know with every single transfer in and out, the popular ones, etc., we know for fact that they're going to fail. So Trippier and Botman are going to get 2 points. I'll be honest with you, I'd rather play Dalot. Play Dalot over Botman. Seriously, I'm being absolutely serious with you now, Bilal. Play Dalot over Botman. Madison Salah's son, Ward-Prowse, yep. He is going with the Amdouni punt. Excellent. Although, I know he's got a double game week. I know this. The fact you've got Palmer, and hasn't Pochettino come out and said that he's thinking of playing him? I've changed my Super Brew prediction as well on that game. I think I went 1... Was it 1-0 or 1-1 to Chelsea? I think I went 1-1. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to change it again. Fuck it. I'm I'm going to change that to 1-0 to Chelsea. There was somebody, I can't remember who it was, they just said, Fulham just can't score. And it's true, they can't. Yeah, I'm changing that game to Chelsea to win that. Yeah, I've already done it. You won't be able to see that. I have actually done it. I've gone, officially this is what I've done. So in chronological order, Brighton to win 3-1. Bournemouth Arsenal 3-1. Everton Luton. I've gone Everton 2-0. Only because I just think that Everton have just got a slightly better attack because I'm so obsessed with Dan Juma, even though he doesn't play for him anymore. Man United 2-0. Newcastle Burnley 2-1 to Newcastle. West Ham Sheffield United 2-0. Wolves Man City 2-0. Tottenham Liverpool I've gone 3-2. I'm going to stick with that. Brentford Nottingham Forest I've gone 1-1. Fulham Chelsea 1-0, and then Luton Burnley 1-1. But this wildcard, yeah, I like it. You've gone with the best strikers in the league at the moment. How much money have you got in the bank is the simple question. Bilal, if you want to let me know that. 20 minutes till deadline. 20 minutes, and I've made a change. Haaland captain out. I was considering Dalot over Botman. Yeah, I just don't trust United defensively. Put Dalot in. Needed to go Turner for funds. 0.4 in the bank. Right, okay. Just as well, regarding Bilal, I do appreciate Bilal. I did put it in the members video yesterday, but I do appreciate Bilal doing the timestamps for the streams. It does help with a lot of people. Shekel Goblin. He's saying, don't do it, it's Burnley. As I keep saying, regarding the favourites being transferred in or not, they fail miserably. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute there's not a good chance of Newcastle keeping a clean sheet. I just have this feeling that we're going to score today. Like I said, there's a high percent chance of Newcastle keeping a clean sheet than there is of us scoring, but this is just me personally, from a biased point of view. Chris saying sounds like the neighbours are having fun. Yeah, so basically you've got the guys over there getting gardening, you've got the guys next door doing something to their house, and you've got the guys behind me doing something to their house. Pain in the arse. Animation saying I wanted to get rid of Chelsea, another player, so that's why I wildcard. Oh, you've actually wildcarded, have you? Oh wow, you've actually wildcarded just to get rid of Chelsea despite the fact they got Fulham. Fair enough. And you've kept Mbeumo. Mate, why you just get rid of Mbeumo? Trust me, you do not want to keep Brentford assets. They were fucking awful last week. Get him gone. Seriously, get him gone. Areola Turner, yes. Cash, Botman, Kabore, Diaby. Diaby's a brilliant pick. Son, Mbeumo. Mbeumo. Fuck off. You're taking the piss. I know you're doing very well this year, animations, but that's taking the piss. Maddison, Salah, Alvarez and Haaland with Estupiñán, Udogie on the bench. Yeah, very pretty much about as standard as it gets. Who would I have in that team from you? I definitely wouldn't have Botman. From a wildcard perspective, so you're playing each week, a cross between rotation between Estupiñán, Cash, Botman and Udogie. That's going to be a pain in the arse for you. I guarantee that. Diaby, brilliant pick. I think Diaby is someone that's going to be coming into my team. In fact, I've already looked at it. And then you got obviously Son, very good pick. Maddison, Salah, yeah, it's basically my team. It's virtually my team, just slightly different players. Slightly different players. Ray saying, I've somehow still... Ray, where have you been for the past 6 years? Animations have brought in Bowen. my West Ham player in Sky. Very good pick. Thoughts on Tarkowski for Estupinan? No weak foot saying, mate, you're doing really well in the Members League. Don't bother asking me. I'd personally play. It's just toss. In fact, shall we toss a coin? Let's just toss a coin. Fuck it. Let's go for it. Here we are. Still need to do my bets today. So here we go. There's 2p. 2p there. Heads for Estupinan, tails for the other player I've completely forgotten. Oh, Tarkowski. Here we go. Tails for Estupinan. There we are, done. Did I say tails for Estupinan? Yeah, I did. So there we are. Estupinan to play instead of Tarkowski. That's how we do it here. Matoma. Oh yeah, you've just said that. Oh yeah, Patrick saying Matoma or Estupinan. Who do I start? Always start the attacking player. Matoma. Bilal saying I wanted DRB. DRB is the one player I wanted to fit in, but I just can't have them all. I think, who would I get rid of in your team instead of? You're going with the punt with Amdouni. That's the thing. You're relying on Amdouni. I would argue that Diaby's got a better, higher ceiling of scoring points than Amdouni this game week. But it was also require you downloading. You know what I mean. Can you do... I know you don't want to do this. Can you do Amdouni and Palmer out for Diaby and someone else? Some cheap, crappy forward? Can it be done? But I think just stick with that team. In fact, you are going to stick with that team. I know that much. Stick with that team. See how you feel with it. I think you'll be... I just think play Dalot over Botman. Do you think any of Aston Villa or Brighton will keep a clean sheet? Again, I would not be surprised if Aston Villa were to win 2-0 or 3-0. Honestly, I'm being serious. I cannot call that game. The game is too hard. Cheers, John. Good luck with the game week. Yeah, it's going to be... well, you can join me. Again, I reiterate this point, 3 o'clock. We're going live. Remember that. We are live at 3 o'clock. I'll be covering all the 3 p.m. kickoffs, and then myself and Jason are going live at 5:30 for the Liverpool game. So make sure that you're supporting the channel by tuning in at 3 o'clock. And making sure that you support the channel. Ali saying March or Mbeumo. They're both shit. Try again. Brian saying Pedro versus March. Whom do I start? Again, terrible. Just neither. Animation saying the Brighton game will be interesting. Yeah, it'd be, like I say, I think it's too... You've got a team in Aston Villa who are, in my opinion, kind of rebuilding and trying to form and mould into the way Unai Emery wants to play. And it's certainly... I personally think that he's using Diaby as that... Almost like that... Watkins as the decoy striker to allow Diaby to get more further advanced. And I do generally think that Diaby is probably the best pick, and I would not be surprised if Diaby got a double-digit haul today, like a goal and assist or something. Whereas with Brighton, they've just got high-end class players who are fitted in like a glove. It doesn't matter who plays today, they're all going to play at a very high standard to what De Zerbi wants, and I just expect that honestly the game could be anything. It genuinely, I mean, let's just see what people on whoscored.com I think. In fact, what are you thinking in this Brighton Aston Villa versus Brighton game? What are your predictions for it? Like I said, I'm going Brighton. WhoScored.com themselves are going with a... I've clicked on the wrong button, so let's just quickly go for the history. Aston Villa are unbeaten in the last 5. Aston Villa unbeaten in the last 5. 2-1, 2-2, 2-1, 2-0, 2-0. So it's looking like a 2-1 game to Aston Villa. Whereas in the preview, WhoScored.com, again, whatever they say, it's the complete opposite. So they're going 2-2, so it ain't going to be a 2-2. Ironically, the viewers or the listeners are thinking on this, are thinking Solly March has got the best percentage of scoring first in the game. They're thinking correct score 2-2, 2-1 to Brighton, 1-1. Just saying here that Brighton are still missing easy chances. Aston Villa to win. Aston Villa have won their last 9 Premier League home games. So this is why it's so bloody difficult. But Brighton do seem to be in games which just seemed... What was it? What did I say the other day? Aston Villa seem to be in games that are always ending... Was it 2-1? It seems like the Leicester, isn't it? The Leicester of last year, where if you bet on Leicester score wise, yeah. So listen to this: the last 6 fixtures, it's 3-0 to Aston Villa, 3-0 to Liverpool, 3-1 to Aston Villa, 3-2 to Ligier Warsaw, 1-0 to Aston Villa, 2-1 to Everton. So prior to their last 2 games where they seem to have tightened up their... Well, there's less than 3 goals, shall we say. Brighton, on the other hand, their last 6 fixtures. 3-1 West Ham, 3-1 Brighton, 3-1 Brighton, 3-2 AEK Athens, 3-1 Brighton, and then the anomaly is 1-0 to Chelsea. So basically this has got 3-1 written all over it to either Brighton or Aston Villa. So actually, do you know what? I'm changing my score prediction. Here we are. This is what we're tuning in for. I'm going to change my score prediction around. I am going 3-1 to Aston Villa instead. Yep, that's done. 3-1 to Aston Villa. Happy days. Any news on Saka? Anything at all? Anybody? Any news on these, whatever those stupid names are on Instagram? Anybody said anything whatsoever? Afternoon Fire Talk. Good luck. Oh God. What did Ray said something earlier actually? Where is it here? There's something that raised... Oh, right, yeah. He just said it. Life's been getting in the way of fantasy football. Yeah, again, I know. It's, I've been discussing to death on members' videos about the expectations from people, what they expect from Elite FPL or steroids and an orange-based juice. That joke will never get old. I've been discussing on members' videos the expectations and what people think from independent YouTube channels, if I'm honest with you, and I just think it's offensive, to be honest with you. Dally Pool, you'll be having it on your big TV, I hope, or your big projector screen. Gabrielle Derop, seriously, shut the fuck up. You know the answer to your own question there. It is, whatchamacallit, Maddison. Do not play Isaac today. It'll be Wilson playing anyway. Matthew Zaishi giving us Man City news from Andy. I don't care about Man City news. Come on, Matthew. Think. Salah. We've got Salah here saying either midfielder Diaby, Son, Maddison, Fernandes and Gordon. I'm going to be playing my wild card as well. Well, you've got 7 minutes. I'm playing my wild card. Should I bring in JD, WP or Bowen for any one of them, or leave it as it is? I'd be getting rid of Fernandes. I don't know what you see in Man United that I don't. I think that of those two, Bowen for the explosive potential, JWP for the consistency. So from a biased point of view, JWP, but people seem to be going with Bowen. I'm just going to quickly go over thingy. Start Walker or Eze? Walker easily. That's an easy question. Denver saying, I've just done Chilwell to Cafal. Wanted to wildcard just to get Salah in. We'll play without him the whole year unless Haaland is out. Mate, you won't be saying that after today. Yeah, I just want to quickly... Yeah, I've done it, haven't I? I've done my own team, yeah. Haaland captain, that's done. That's fine. The question is about Saka. Now, I know the news won't be coming in until very, 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 very late on. This is the problem. We're talking like 2 minutes before the, deadline. So, I'm kind of wanting to at least be able to hear some news on the Juice show if we hear anything, because they should be on top of things. But if I hear that Saka's benched, I'm putting in Cash straight away into my team, I think. I think that let me just change that around. Yeah, there we are, all changed, all done. But I'm tempted with the... Chris, check your schedule. The answer is yes. There is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is when you want to be tuning in today. Show your support to the independent shows. Bilal saying Nether bench Madison. Yeah, that is a ridiculous question, Gabrielle de Rock. You're doing really well this year as well. Manchester Red saying any leaks? No, mate. Nothing. Nothing of interest. Nothing that will help you. Trust me. Matthew thinking that Saka will be coming off the bench. Well, I'm going to do the coin for me now. This is right. I'm going to do best of 3. Good lad. Bilal playing Delot. Well done. Good morning, Dave. I am going to do a flip of the coin. This is Matthew Zaishi now. Matthew Zaishi, this is down to you. Okay, whatever the coin says, I'm going with. So heads is Saka. Heads is Saka. Tails is Cash. Based on you, Matthew Zaishi. Here we go. So heads is Saka. Tails is Cash. God almighty. And I can't even catch. Hold on a minute here. I still can't catch. Hold on a minute. Hey, there we go. So heads is Saka. Tails. In fact, let's just put it on the big screen. This is shit content, by the way. What idiots are watching this? I can't even move my hand without worrying that well, the point being is that you can see that I'm not cheating. That's a tails there, as you can probably see, if it actually decides to focus in. That's Matty Cash. Oh, God. That's a terrible throw. Oh, it's a tails. So Matty Cash is playing for me. There we are. Done. Well done, Matthew Zaishi. I've got 3 minutes to change that. Done. You don't get anything for Matthew Zaishi. You don't get anything of that at all, Matthew. You just... you're going to get slagged off if it goes to shit. Right. He's done. Cash is in. So it's now a 4-4-2 formation with Matty Cash in, thanks to a coin and what Matthew Zaishi has just said. Brilliant. Absolutely superb stuff there. Thanks for that. Ridiculous. Thing is, in all seriousness, I think that it would be a bit mad if Arteta was to start Saka. And to be fair, the fantasy football scout guys, they're actually quite good at doing their predicted lineups, and they do have what's his face, Emile Smith-Rowe playing instead of Saka, and they're not, like I said, they're normally quite good, so I'm going to stick with that 4-4-2. I'm happy with that. Saka is first sub, and the reality is tonight I'm probably going to do a transfer anyway. I'm going to be bringing in Son for Saka anyway. I'll be doing that tonight for sure. So Madison or JWP coin flip. Okay, here we go. I haven't even said. We'll do heads for JWP, tails for Madison. It's a tails. It's a tails. Not that you can see it, but you just got to trust me. JC saying, Steve, can you see Twitch comments? I'll be honest with you. The answer is no. I don't look at it. I'm not even on Twitch. I literally just do what Jason tells me to do, and basically on there, you go on here, and occasionally on the pop-up chat, it will have but all it's got is you. I'm sure there is somebody on Twitch watching this on here, but no, there's nothing there that I can see. I can't even scroll up on there. But if there are people watching on Twitch, God help you. And that is the deadline. That is the deadline. Yeah, JC saying it's better than YouTube. Yeah, but FPL isn't a platform for. We only put it on Twitch because there are people like, I'm assuming yourself, that use Twitch. Well, there we are. There we are. It's done. 11 a.m. Right then, I'm gonna piss off people now, and just gonna read through some conversation from the members. As ever, if you do want to support the channel and become a member and get essentially just personalised videos answering your own questions, no matter what it's about, by all means, and if anybody is enjoying the nonsense me and Jason do, by all means, why just become a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're hitting subscribe. But I'm going to have to read through these first before I release some of them live. So Fire Talk just quickly saying here that I was pronouncing it Psychophant when the word is Psychophant. Again, even if it was pronounced Psycho, Sicko, basically David Hamill was referring to the way society is today online, specifically YouTube, and he just used that terminology. Denver saying here, irked you on the language grammar. Personally, thank you for the history vids and the vid with Jason last night. Conundrum for me is the injuries affecting my choices this week. Agree with you on we don't do things like the mainstream FPL podcasts, etc. Keep maintaining status pro. Once again, thank you for the members' vids. It takes a lot of effort to do analytics on history, current form, etc. It really doesn't take effort. I don't mean that in a horrible way. It doesn't. What's effort is when, for argument's sake, individuals are going out their way to research subject matters they don't know much about. Me going on whoscored.com and just going, yeah, write it down, done. It's not difficult. But what is difficult is doing 15 hours or more of content a week when you've got a full-time job and everything is, like I say, it's hard. And people don't, thing is, people that aren't members, they don't see it. Whereas I've already seen the certain subscribers say, you know, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, sadly, you've got to become a member now because, as I keep stating to death, I'm sick to death of online trolls. Because they're cunts, basically, and I'm just bored shitless of reading the shite that they come out with. It really does get really boring after a while reading the crap. So, yeah. I've completely pressed the wrong bloody button, would you believe? There we are. I get the fact that you do it out of the love. I hope. Let me know what the decision is on. Let me know what the decision is regarding Patreon/donation aspect. I cannot access Discord at work. You can access it on your phone though, can't you, Denver? Surely that's. Yeah, we were just discussing about the possibility of going down the Patreon route because, like I say, we don't get any anything from YouTube, and Jason made a decision live on air the other day, didn't he, regarding not monetizing anymore. Fuck it. It's a complete waste of time. When you're, like I keep banging on, without going over the same thing over and over and over, when you're technically shadow banned and when you're a very small independent, whether you're a business, whether you're a content creator, it doesn't really matter. It's very, 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 very difficult to stand out in the landscape. The only thing I will say is that, you know, we have got a very loyal fan base to the show, and that's why I say just anytime we're streaming stuff, just make sure you just show your support. It's quite simple, really, by tuning in every week, making sure you hit the like button, all that bollocks. Natasha's saying this guy needs to watch other content creators. He has missed the whole point of this show after years of watching. Yeah, there was an individual that made a comment about our show and everything, which, to be fair, the reason why I wrote read out this comment, or why I kind of agreed and disagreed, is just essentially like to paraphrase, this individual wanted it to be a very structured show, like for instance FPL Juice or FPL Wire or whatever, like very, very structured. Well, we're not like these guys. We're just two individuals that want to talk about whatever we want to talk about, obviously about FPL and whatnot, but it's just something that we're passionate about and something that we involve you guys with, and you're without going over the same line over and over, but you're part of a journey. If you don't like it, don't watch. As I keep saying, if you don't like being part of the journey, if you don't want us to criticise your teams, if you don't like us talking about your teams in a negative way or whatever, same thing, then I suggest you don't bother watching. It's quite simple. Milan Milic saying, last season I got to the point where FPL seemed unenjoyable and repetitive. I was looking for outside validation for every move I made. Yep, that's pretty much probably every single person in this stream right now. I'm kind of wavering off that personally. I kind of try not to have outside information change my, despite the bit of fun that I've just had just now regarding Matty Cash or whatever. But Jesus fucking Christ, if there's a difference of, you know, as I've already stated, Saka away from home, near whatever, and it's Bournemouth. It's not an easy fixture. It's not really that easy. And I think there's more. I think going on that bit of fun there, I think there's more reward for Cash. But overall, yeah, I try and avoid the validation and the reinforcement to moves that I do, because that person has got extremely good knowledge of whatever it may be. I recall the moment FPL started to be enjoyable again was when I said, fuck it, it's my team and I'm responsible for every move and consequences from those moves, and I've got an immediate rank boost. Sadly missed some deadlines due to work and didn't finish high in ranks. This season is looking great so far, and this is exactly the thing. I will never, ever, ever, ever understand when it comes to anything to do with, I'll just use effective anything in life, isn't it? But when everybody else has got an opinion, they will air it. And when you do anything to do with YouTube or whatnot, like I said, whether it's to do with car driving lessons, whether it's to do with FPL, whether it's to do with the gym, you know, everybody has an opinion. And when we're all connected, everybody's connected in some way. And unfortunately, it just feels like the world is on top of you sometimes. And it's why I kind of try and take a stance back like Milan Milic is doing. And yeah, like I say, it's one of those where I think that just stick to your own thought processes and you'll enjoy it more, rather than, I don't know, for argument's sake, if you're thinking, I don't really want to bring in Son because it's Liverpool, and all you're doing is consuming FPL content, and it's saying, and most people are going, I'm bringing in Son, I'm bringing in Son, I'm bringing in Son. Your head's just going to be thinking, I've got to bring in Son, and then all of a sudden Son does nothing, and the player that you've taken out goes and does something. You're going to feel even worse. The reason why I wrote all this is because I feel like the people you mention in your videos are tired, bored, or they are not enjoying FPL anymore due to their fault. And they become slaves of their schedules. They've made an enjoyable hobby into their job, and they've lost their personalities in the process. The moment they will feel better is when they man up and stop being a sheep and actually advise viewers to get the players they would personally get, not make threads about how good someone is and not follow through. This is the longest comment of my life. Have fun reading. And yeah, I'm glad you've wrote that comment, because it shows that something that I've said has given a reaction in you where you feel like you need to write something. And you are completely right, as I keep stating. When you turn a hobby into a job, you can either do one of two things. You can either continue just doing it as your normal hobby and continue. This is just my opinion, why James on Planet FPL, I've got such a high regard for him, because like with Elite FPL, their show hasn't changed. It's exactly the same. There's no difference really. It's just a bloke that's just a very intelligent guy talking about his own thought process and everything, and he does what he does. He states 1 billion times, you do whatever you need to do. I will just advise you. If you send in questions or whatever, I will happily answer them. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Yes, I'm an intelligent bloke when it comes to football, and I will give you every single minor detail into why this player is a good option. But you know, it's down to you whether you bring him in or not. And it's why, like I said, I've got such a high regard for James. Whereas there are other content creators that have it, because that's James's job at the end of the day. Whereas other content creators, let's just put it, I'll be honest with you, I watched one yesterday because I was just lying on my bed, bored out of my fucking mind. And this from a very, very large account popped up. And I just could not believe the editing that went into a podcast. I just thought, you're literally editing out every single minute issue with the video. Like, for instance, if the individual may have just gone... they've edited it out. If the individual has paused to do an answer, they've edited out. So it's just constant chat between the host. So it appears to be constant chat between the host and the guest. And I had to turn it off. It was just so clean and fake. I couldn't deal with it. And by the way, again, this doesn't just apply to FPL. This applies to lots of things on YouTube. And it's the fakeness that comes out. And like Milan Milic is saying here, a lot of them are tired, bored, or they're just not enjoying playing FPL anymore because they're adhering to the system rather than actually doing what they want to do. Patrick, who's here now, saying, I disagree with the guy with the criticism. Okay, fair enough. Constructive criticism is the word we're looking for here. The lack of structure is brilliant and it's entertaining and feels like you're one of us. I'd rather listen to the NHS stories and your life stories than FPL tips. I can use AI if I want to. Jesus fucking Christ, you just reminded me on this particular video I watched, this edited podcast. The second they went to the AI section, I just immediately was just like, this is fucking bullshit. Get the fuck off. Awful. 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 I don't care if AI is absolutely... should have edited that out. I don't care if the AI is absolutely 100% accurate. I don't give a shit. for you to have like an interesting conversation and then they go, oh, let's just see what the AI says. Fuck off. Awful. Anyway, that's just lost us 20 views. Patrick, I need to do my bets, I've just realised. Patrick saying, here's a super chat, he didn't have to do that. Feel free to throw this on a Saka to score assist. I'll be putting 50p on. That's good. Will saying here, you guys are popping up in suggested feeds for the first time since I started watching 2 years ago. Whatever you're doing, it's because we're live right now, it's the only reason. But yeah, I mean, thanks to watching and enjoying it. Madeline Tudor saying, I'm only watching Elite FPL and FPL Black Blocks, the rest are garbage. Manchester Red saying, let's face it, if it's all guesswork, if content creators knew the outcomes of games, they'd be we'd all be millionaires. You could apply that to anything. Chris Tinson saying, there's a lot of YouTubers who have egg on their faces about results so far. Oh yeah, I was watching the clip that they did regarding Mark Goldbridge and Ben Foster. Again, it's just so... It makes me sick watching it. It's just so... bleh. Denver saying, James, Trigger Lips and Elite are my go-to. The analysis is from All About Football, the rest is not needed. Yet again, I can guarantee you now, anything that James says is said in a more analytical, informative way than what Trigger Lip says, and then but it's virtually the same thing, and whatever Trigger Lip says is virtually the same thing as what I say or Jason says, and then whatever All About FPL says, they will say virtually, give or take, the same thing as any other thing. It's all pretty much the same things that we're looking at. You know, I watch Man United and Crystal Palace, and I didn't enjoy the game. I found it really, really boring. Crystal Palace were just literally just sitting back, doing absolutely nothing. They had no attacking threat whatsoever, whereas Man United, they were enjoying their football and they were just trying to get through two brick walls. Is that really that in-depth analysis? No, but I haven't got the intelligence to talk about the runs off the ball from Amrabat and Mason Mount, and why the fact that it was a good defensive system with Martinez and Varane because of this and this. That's just not me. Matt saying, I'm a relatively new player. I definitely appreciate how much real than other creators you are. I can make my own bad team. This is good therapy after FPL week. Yeah, we've been like this since 4 or 5 years ago now. Like I said, getting the likes of Booner on and Daily Llama as he was back then, and just having fun with the game and enjoying it. It's why I have got a high regard as well for the FPL Juice lads, because what they do is real. It's just three blokes, because I classify James as like the Carl Pilkington. I don't mean in the sense of he's Carl Pilkington, but I mean in the sense of both bold, but I mean in the sense of they're both producers. He's basically part of the show, and he links it all together beautifully. And with Nick and Ash, they've got such good camaraderie with one another, and James is happy to kind of sit to one side, but it's the three of them together have created a show in which it's real, it's honest. I believe in what I say, it's not pretentious, and it's for fun. I see a lot in what we do in what FPL Juice does. The only difference is that they're in a beautiful studio. That's it. Hello, Nick Sharp. Yeah, but like I said, it's just a basic bonus stream. I'm going to be going off in 2 seconds. Good afternoon, Natasha. We just addressed your comment 2 seconds ago. Good afternoon, Hussein. Yeah, Chris making a very point here. Elite FPL is community-based. The others are career-based. Lewis Kirkby, good afternoon. He's actually done DRB in for Sterling. Brilliant move. Excellent move. I really do think that will pay off. Not just in the long run, but I think it will go in the... Wow, Lewis Kirkby is captaining Wilson. That is brilliant. Well done, captaining Wilson, when he gets 2 goals against Burnley today. That's excellent. Yeah, on that Burnley game note, let's get out of here. Like I said, I'm going live at 3 p.m, so make sure you join myself, at 3 p.m. for all the games, and then myself and Jason, and well, hopefully Jason, but he should be, we're then covering the Tottenham versus Liverpool game. As ever, really do appreciate anybody that's tuning in to watch this, and I'll catch you at 3 o'clock for all the 3 p.m. kickoffs. See you later, and